Camera on. So, hey, or hi from Sweden. Let's start it off. Just had as usual, a few technical difficulties. So we're just seeing if we can get everything sorted on and see if we can get some comments up.
Yes, a few technical difficulties. That's one way of putting it. So hopefully it will be up and running. Right, let's see. Jules is going to try and get the comments on this. We were going to use my 4G, but for some reason it's not worked. It won't connect. I don't know why. So we shall just load up the comments on the channel and see how it's going. So stand by.
Seems as we're a little bit early anyway, we thought
we'd make a total mess of it up.
Well, we'd make a start.
Right.
So,
but well, we've succeeded to get some comments, so that's good.
But probably the bandwidth is now, because I'm watching myself on here, he's going to slow that down. But yeah, it's all
yeah, because I don't
all
know.
good.
I can't play comments.
I have got some people in the chat, so let's have a look. We have Caravanning Adventures with Archie. Hello. A Life Full of Meaning. Good evening. Mr. Gossip. Mr. Wills. Carla. Blimey. Our caravan time. Should I stay or should I tow now? Thank you for joining us. Nick Alfrey. Olive Wood Documental. Hola. So yeah, Mr. Goodwin. Hello, Lloyd. Hopefully Yvonne as well.
Yeah.
Cars and Caravan. Mr. Dan and the family. Little Tilly Biz. The Rockleys. And you.
Anne McKay.
You start.
Anne, Bob McKay.
Anne
Ian,
Brooks.
Rowan. Mark Jubb. Mark and Anne. Hi, guys.
Wow.
I know Mark and Gail Cooper are watching, but they can't comment. So they are there as well.
Are we loud enough? Can you hear us? Do we need to shout? Or come a bit closer?
Tommy D. Bendigo Pipe Club. Sounds a bit different. Hi, guys. Yeah, hi. Andrew Wild. Carla. She's saying hello to Jane and Helen.
We know an Andrew Wild.
Yes.
Is it Andy Wild? Of Sam Wild and Andy Wild, or is this a different one? Let us know in the comments and we'll go through it. So while Screen is just having a look at those.
Everyone can hear us.
Good.
Which is always a bonus. So
the rundown of tonight's European update, really.
It's like Eurovision.
We've got a little bit of Sweden, what we've been up to, what we've been doing, just in case you've missed out on our vlogs, blogs and everything else. We've got a bit about Dusseldorf, going to the caravan salon, so going down there. What we're doing when we get back to the UK. Go on.
It is Andy Wild. Hi, Andy.
When we get back to the UK, so bits and pieces on that, which then nicely falls into the NEC, what we've got planned for that. Then any questions, and hopefully you'll be chatting amongst yourselves, because what we've missed with everybody is
it's people. We've missed people. Just anyone to talk to. I've even been learning Swedish, so I'm going just randomly talk to people.
No, what we've really missed is the live chats. Not particularly for the people who are doing the lives, but for the community to be able to chat amongst yourselves in the comments, to catch up. I know on a daily basis it's done through Twitter and Instagram and everything else, but it's just really nice for everybody to all come to one place, like when Dan was doing them on the Monday nights and when other people have done them. It was really good, and it was nice to actually have something in place. So we're toying with the idea of doing a few more, but again, bandwidth, and hopefully we'll get a bit slicker at doing these and everything else. This time I haven't got my iPad gaffer taped to the antique table. I've rigged up a little tripod and done something different, so that's why it's hopefully a little bit better. So
I'll just go through a few bits. So Anne Shirley's dropped in. So hi, Anne. And someone asked, is it windy where we are? No, we've had amazing weather, but we'll cover that, so we can't complain at all. And do we miss the mosquitoes?
Hell no.
No.
I'm still
No.
recovering.
So yeah, so when I can't remember when we last did a live, but as you know, we went off to Jersey and we had a brilliant time in Jersey, and then we sort of made our way down to Dover Court at Harwich, which is where we were going to get the ferry. We had our ferry crossing over to Holland, which was a brilliant crossing. I think we were just so lucky because the water was as still as anything. So we got over there, landed in Holland, and then our travels began. If you're thinking of travelling around Europe, it's brilliant. Do it. Towing
Absolutely.
is easy. I'd say I can see why here they tow the most ridiculous sized touring caravans.
It is a different world.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they tow the biggest caravans in the world with
The
like Nissan
tiniest cars.
Micras.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
wow. You're literally driving along and this thing comes bombing by you. And you just think, how is that even pulling that caravan?
Yeah, it's
But
quite frightening.
it does it. It does it.
But no, so we've had a great time. We've learnt a lot of stuff and things that we do differently, which we'll do a vlog about. But caravans and motorhomes here, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
I've never seen so many. There's thousands. Everyone's got one.
Yeah.
It's
It seems to be more pushed towards motorhomes and A-classes here. We're on a site at the moment, and the caravans, basically it looks like they more use them for seasonal purposes, and they're all decked out and they've got proper decking, proper wooden sort of surrounds around them. They are here and they are pitched up for a good length of time. They don't seem to tour as much. That said, we do see the odd ones around us that are obviously moving about, but that is, it's more pushed towards the motorhome out here, or so it seems.
well,
Especially
I think
the
it
bigger
depends
ones.
what you want to do, because Sweden, it's been a bit of a mix, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'd say this site's just rammed with seasonals, but it's so much fun. But the pitches, book the biggest pitch you can book is my advice, because the pitches are very small and they're very close to the other pitches. I mean, we've got some footage. We were nose in like we are now, and this caravan decided he was going to just pitch sideways on his pitch, and they just started coming towards us. He was about a foot from the window. He was literally touching the water hog, wasn't he? And we were just like holding our breaths, thinking, when's he going to stop?
He walked into the water hog.
Yeah, he did. He did walk into the water. So yeah, it's very compact, but the weather has been fantastic. I know at home we had the heat wave, and we had it here, and it was red hot. But then so far we've had literally an hour of rain in we've been here 3.5 weeks. But the weather's been fantastic.
In the last 3 nights I've just been sat out because we've just come from Karlstad, which was probably one of the better sites that we've been on.
Brilliant
to be
site.
honest.
And not only yeah, but we're on this site. It's a brilliant site, and in front of us are all these hard standing motorhome bays, and they were obviously quite exclusive, and they had their own patio area, and there's been some beasts park on there. And yesterday this Naus A class arrived. It was 180 grams worth of A class arrived, pulls up, and there's all these like motifs all over it, weren't there? Which straight away I thought, well, that's not average. And next thing, this bloke gets out, and he was the least likely looking motorhomer I've ever seen. He just didn't fit, did he? And he got out.
His demeanour sort of showed who he was, I think.
Well, yeah, so he gets out and he starts like filming himself, and I thought, well, that's a bit weird because there's only us that do that. So he starts filming himself. So I'm thinking, nah, I'm gonna have to look on the internet. Is he a Swedish vlogger or something? So I'm looking, and I put this name in all that's plastered on this A class, which was what was it, something like Arving Arna, something like that. So I googled it, and it turns out it's like this Swedish band that's massive, like second only to ABBA in Sweden. So Jules was like, I'm going to go get a picture with him. I was like, oh, don't. He was like, yeah, I'm going to. So he goes over, and this guy actually thinks Jules obviously knows who he is. And
I did by then.
he did by then.
I've listened to his stuff on YouTube. He sang I Do, I Do. 1993, the Eurovision Song Contest, came 7th. Oh,
Yeah, We were
was
number
awesome.
one fans by the time we finished.
He was a
He was
really nice guy.
Yeah, he was called Casper.
Casper Janebrink.
Yeah.
Know all about him now.
Yeah.
What a band.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you only live once, don't you?
Our
So,
caravan time's got to pop off, so we'll see you later. But yeah,
That's,
absolutely hilarious.
Vanadu. Hey,
Done.
Karina, Jenny. It's Jenny from Vanadu.
Hello.
Running Duck Pet Services.
Yeah, no, I know who that is.
Good.
Yeah, and can you want double roofs too?
So what I was going to say is,
Oh, sorry, yeah.
whilst I was sort of cut off, what I'm going to bring out next is I've just
A song. A song about caravanning in Sweden.
What I was going to put out, if it interests anybody, is I've just filmed some of the facilities on some of the different sites as we've been out here, because the I know it's a bit of a dirty subject, but the toilet emptying area is different, a little bit different out here. Really
There's
hygienic, really good, and
Wow,
really
yeah.
well used. Really easy to use. I've done the recycling. I'm not going to give too much away because it's going to be in the vlog, because it's only going to be a short one. But basically, it's 5 things: the electric out here, pitching, how they expect you to pitch, the facilities that they've got, the recycle centres that they've got, just bits and pieces like that. So if you are ever interested in heading out this way, it just might give you a little bit of an insight as to what's sort of expected, what's the standard out here. So if you're interested in that, please, knock them in the comments, and I'll pull that together and hopefully get that done. I've already got a review of Dover Court done as well, which
was quite an interesting site.
It's a very transient site. Obviously, because it is in Harwich and it's only sort of 5 minutes from the port, people were off and there late at night. Obviously, we were there for a little bit, but the majority of people came in and they were literally just going straight to the port. So
They were nearly going straight to prison one night because there was a right domestic. It kicked off big time at 1 a.m. I was like,
Saturday night. Yeah.
I thought, I'm back at work in my old role. I was like, and Jules is like, don't bother, Karina, just stay here. I was like, oh my gosh, it kicked off big time.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
I felt sorry because there was quite a few Dutch people on the site, and what the hell they must have thought, I do not know. It was horrendous, bless them. But it was actually a really good place to stay before getting... I think that was probably a one-off because it was probably a very good site. We enjoyed our little stay there. So we've got some questions. Mark Hill, that's a lovely comment, thank you. We enjoy putting our time into our vlogs. It's quite good fun, really. And if it helps other people, because there's stuff that I would have liked to have known before I came out that I think would have been quite useful. So we'll certainly be doing a bit more on that. How's the food in Sweden? Expensive. Yeah, really. I mean,
Doesn't look like it, but I've lost about 15 stone because I haven't eaten anything. No, it's the food is fantastic.
Yeah,
it is very, very good.
Yeah,
but it is very, very
There's
expensive.
so much choice as well. We haven't eaten out. The news we got to eating out, joking side, was going to a place called Max's, which is like a McDonald's, and that was in a shopping centre. So we got a burger, but the prices, the supermarkets, it's like the M&S food hall prices on steroids, but the choice is unbelievable. It's almost like
fresh.
It's sort of a Sainsbury's come Waitrose, but on a massive scale. The choice is phenomenal, but the prices, oh gosh, I don't see anything like it. And yeah, we've been really surprised at food prices. And petrol. Petrol's about £1.50 a litre. It converts to here in Sweden.
It's cheaper
Denmark's
in Germany
cheap.
and Denmark.
Yeah, Denmark. We're back in Denmark in a couple of weeks for a few nights. Denmark's a lot cheaper.
Can I just quick? And I haven't swallowed a dictionary. I'm just actually being allowed to talk for once. I do have quite a varied vocabulary, but I'm never really allowed to use it. So yes, I do know some bigger words, and it is late in the day, so I'm
we've had a long day. We're quite tired, but we're doing well.
One of the things that I would suggest is if you do tend to come or intend to come out here, stock up. We thought we'd stocked up quite well with food,
but we
just
ate
dry
it all.
stuff, cereals, tin stuff, beans, and anything else, so that you can make yourself sandwiches or whatever, and just buy some cheap fresh stuff out here. I mean, we only bought out some packets of Uncle Ben's rice and bits and pieces like that. If we'd have known how expensive it was, we'd have probably brought enough for a little bit longer. I'm not saying
Yeah,
we'd
6
bring.
weeks.
I'm not saying we bring 7
Well, we
weeks
would.
worth of
No, we
food
would.
because
If anyone would
that's a
like
lot
to,
of food.
if you'd like to send us a food parcel, we'd be more than grateful. We've got a question about roughly how much has the holiday cost. The ferry, I think, was about £275 roughly. The sites have ranged. At the moment, this one's about £30 a night. Some in Germany and Denmark, they were about €20. Now we've got to Sweden, they're ranging from £30 a night to 35. The most we paid for one night was at Malmo, but that is a big place in Sweden. It's the first place you come to and it's the last place that you leave out of. And it was that was like a 5-star site, and to be fair, it was fantastic, and we were only there a night. Petrol, I don't know, so far obviously we've been filling up. I'd say so far we've probably spent maybe £600 on fuel, maybe more.
I don't know. I'm just allowed the card, so
yeah.
I jump out and
And
just fill it
food, oh gosh, we brought £300 in cash in Swedish money, which that's gone, and I think we probably spent probably about 150 on top of that so far. And then when we get back down to Germany and Denmark, we've got euros. So if you're wanting a cheap holiday, Scandinavia is not a cheap place unless you're in Denmark. I think Sweden and Norway are expensive, but at the end of the day, that's where we've chosen to come, and we've made the right choice for us. I think it's been brilliant.
And it's a trade-off. The scenery and the walks that we've had and things like that, and just seeing the culture. It's absolutely fantastic.
Have you been to the IKEA museum, Stephen? We've been to an IKEA. Yeah, we went to IKEA. We had a trot round there, didn't we?
Yeah.
That was because it's free. You see, we've gone on all these free days out. If they've not cost, we've gone. So we've been to IKEA. Tomorrow we're going to go to a motorhome showroom because that's free. But joking aside, when you get here, the activities don't seem to cost. Things like all the walking and the bike riding. So in terms of activities, wow, it's fantastic. Fudge is enjoying himself immensely. He is an outdoor dog and he's loving it. The weather has been fantastic. We've not even had an awning up. It's been amazing. We've just been using the sun canopy, haven't we? So Fudge has been happily outside all day. He's been walked left, right and centre. We did flea and tick him before we came, and he has picked up a tick, but that's come off. So again, something to bear in mind is sort of with you being outdoors, that's one thing your animals will pick up on. And then on a night he goes back in his crate, and that sounds a bit cruel, but it's not. He loves his little bed, so he's jumped in there now. He gets bored and throws himself in it, so he's in his bed now. But Fudge is enjoying it. The ferry was fine. He's not bothered. He's a good traveller, and he's had a great holiday.
Yeah.
We had a few days when it was too hot for him. When the heat wave came, it was too hot, and we just threw buckets of water on him. And
luckily he was allowed in the lake when we were. So
there was a lake, and then we moved to the sea, didn't we?
Yeah.
So he spent a lot of time in the water. But for pets, it's a brilliant place.
But the good thing is, at the moment, the weather that we've literally had Van Gogh carpet out, and we've just had that out and the sun canopy, and that's it. We've just been sat out on a night with a table out and just eating outside. It's been fantastic.
So that's why did we choose Sweden? We wanted to come over to Europe, but the time of year, Sweden, we decided Sweden and this way was going to be cooler, and it has been. Generally, it's been between 20 and 24 degrees. It's been average. When we got the heat wave, when the roads here actually melted, it was over 30, well over 30, and that was unusual. And we had about 5 days of that, but otherwise it's been a lot cooler, which is better for the dog, and it's better for us for doing stuff, because if you go to Spain and it's nearly, high 30s, it's not that easy then to do any sort of exploring. So so that's you viewing the lottery. I won't mind, but no, we're having a great time here. So that's Sweden basically. We're here for we're in Sweden for 11 nights, then we go to Denmark, and then the next part of our big trip is we're dropping down to Dusseldorf, and we're going to the Caravan salon. And I know Carla and Stephen are coming out, Andrew Ditton's coming out. Who else is coming out? I don't know if David Bird's coming or not. Is David
I believe
coming?
so. Yeah, Mr. Rawlings.
John Rawlings is going.
Stephen Kelly.
So we're really looking forward to Dusseldorf because there's going to be so much to see. We are quite excited about that. Having just seen what people travel with here, it's going to be quite exciting. I'm already
And
excited.
everybody said it is the place to go, and it is
Massive.
absolutely massive.
Yeah.
Is the show. So we're really interested to have a look at that, and obviously it'll give us something to hopefully film and put out. So
Yeah, people expect to use site facilities rather than their vans. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, what we've seen is a lot. I mean, on this site, some people, they don't even seem to bother with water in their vans, and they're all, like say, or even their toilets.
but we've got to add on that we're not 100% sure, because a lot of the vans do have onboard water, because some of them don't even have the facility for the pumps on the outside. So I don't know if that's a
There's
European
a lot of
thing.
variation, but
So much variation.
I mean, using the facilities, you've used them. To be fair, I do use the van. You've trotted over. You've used all of them.
I've said the facilities. I said to Karina tonight, the facilities here are the best that we've had so far. They are shared. The majority of things over here are shared, but when I say that you have your own little rooms, so you've got a shower and a sink locked behind a door, and then the next door to that there's toilets, but they're proper buildings.
They've massively varied.
But then here
Yeah.
they've got the sinks outside as well. So
I had quite an interesting experience when I thought, oh, I might try the facilities at this site. I think that was at Norrköping. So I went to have a quick look, went in through the main door, and there's all the loos, went into the next bit that says showers. Obviously it's ladies' showers, and it's like a school changing room. And I thought, oh, it's a bit different. Looked where the showers were, and I mean, I'm not prudish. I've seen a lot of things in my time, but I do like my own privacy. I think I've seen enough of these things in my time. And there were no shower curtains. There was nothing. So literally, they were all just facing each other. So it was a case of it was like being in an old school changing room. Oh, I got out of there pretty quick. I was like, no, I'm going back to the van. I just thought, I don't want to see this. So yeah, that was an experience.
Going back to being over here, I'm just going to open this. I don't know if you'll be able to hear, because the reason that we've shut the window.
This is the loudest they've got all night.
Basically, they're out playing with the kids. They've got sticks, and it's almost like Skittles.
Because everything's so expensive, they can't afford to drink and they can't afford to buy toys. So they're all
out playing, and they're all out. They're all families.
So they don't drink.
It's fantastic.
But yeah, there's a lot. It is family orientated. But we've had no rowdiness. Everyone goes to bed. It's amazing. Would you get the aircon? Do you know what? Seriously, when we had that heat wave, just leave it open, darling, because it's quite warm. When we had the heat wave, we did actually say we could. This is why he's not allowed to play with anything. We did say when we had the heat wave, we could have done with aircon. That heat was phenomenal. Even opening the windows Yorkshire style didn't work.
And what I would say is I'd probably invest next time, if we did this again, in one of those little boxes that you put in the car or in the caravan. I think there's two different companies.
Cool.
There's Transcool and Total Cool. I wasn't going to mention them.
Well, why not?
There are other products available.
Oh, I don't know. They're just two companies that I know of.
And I know that Sid had
Lewis has got one.
Borrowed it. And the reason why I'd probably do that is because you can put citronella water or flavouring fruit or whatever it is into it. And so we could have the van cold, but also expel the mozzies. So that would be a win-win out here for me. That's something that I'd definitely look at in the future.
Yeah. So will we be changing our van?
No.
Absolutely not. No, we love this van. I tell you what, we have towed this now. In this 3.5 weeks, the miles we have covered, it's been unbelievable. And nothing, again, absolutely nothing, no problems, not let us down one bit.
We have been discussing motorhomes more, but it's the age-old thing, you know. Do you go to a motorhome? And when I say motorhome, you're looking at more sort of like an A-class type. Out here, fantastic.
If I was doing Europe more, I would say a motorhome is more practical. And they don't tow cars with them because everywhere's so open to motorhomes here. You can just nip down to the supermarket, and the car parks are huge. So you can even take your caravan. We've seen a lot of caravans hitched up, even pulling into the supermarkets. It's crackers. So, but everywhere's more set up for motorhoming. It's more like America and RV.
Everywhere's set up for motorhoming and caravanning. It's fantastic. Like Corinne's just said, pulling into the supermarket with your caravan hitched. There are spaces for them because there's so much space out here. But also filling up at the petrol station.
Can't afford
We
shit.
don't actually think about going to fuel the car now before we set off on a travelling day, which we do at home because of the size of the van and the unit when it's together. Out here, we have filled up with the van on the back, and it is that big. You can just literally drive in, drive out. There's so much more space.
I think being over here, and I think it probably goes for most of Europe, it's made me realise how easy it is to tow over here. Because this is a big van at home, whereas over here, compared to some of the vans we've seen, this is a tiddler. So, but it makes you realise how easy towing is here. So if you are thinking of coming to Europe, whether it be in a motorhome or a caravan, oh, go for it. And if you're nervous, find other people that are going and just say, you know, do you mind if I follow you? I'm sure they wouldn't mind. And if anyone had wanted to follow us, they'd have been more than welcome. And we're going to come back next year, that's for sure.
Just quickly going to say, Dan Carr, thank you very much for coming. Early deliveries, appreciate that. Have a good one, thank you. Goodbye.
I'm looking forward to putting an order in as well at some point for my Christmas treats when we see you at New Year.
And Bob, that's interesting to read, that you've found it that you didn't even need your car because there's so much more space out here.
But I'm glad Bob said that, because obviously
we found that.
Yeah, because
we really have found that.
Yeah, it's not like something we've just made up. But yeah, I haven't seen. In fact, we saw one yesterday. This German couple arrived with a lovely Heimer, towing on a trailer, because you're not meant to use A-frames here. Towing a little car, and that was the only one we've seen in 3.5 weeks on these sites. And some of these sites have got like 500-600 pitches. So it goes to say, how have the roads been for towing the 8-foot caravan? Easy. Even through the towns and the villages that you go through, there's no difficulty. The roads are so much wider, the lanes are huge, and on the offside, my offside when I'm on the right hand side of the road, that you don't get the same barriers. Often there's a huge big margin. So towing here has been absolutely simple. The only place we've been very glad of our Motorhome has been on the sites, because one, we've had to go nose in on a lot of pitches because our door's on the wrong side for them, and we've had to go nose in. But some of the spaces, some of the sites have been really tight, and that's what I was saying about in future. I would know to book. I'd be a lot more particular about the pitch.
I'm laughing because when you're out here, because nobody has motor movers.
Do you want to see their faces?
They just when we're motor moving things, it's like witchcraft and wizardry that we're just doing this. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I've never seen people's faces.
But also, they're just driving big circles on pitches and just literally drive through other people's pitches.
Oh, it's wild.
Unhook and then drive. It's like.
But when we get the motor mover out, you literally, it looks like they think we brought some sort of witchcraft with us. I've never seen people stand with their mouths open like here. It's been absolutely hilarious. So they don't have towing covers, because a lot of vans
don't have
front windows, or even the Adrias don't have the 3 like ours. They've just got 1. And again, we'll cover that at some point, and probably the reasons for that. So.
I got chatting to a chap this morning, well, 2 actually, because they saw me putting on the cover and also talking about the car. So yeah, they were intrigued to sort of and then when I said, because we've got all the windows, they were like, oh yeah, it makes sense, we don't have those here.
So Anne says, what have we missed most? Now, joking aside, what I've missed most is people, because I like talking, don't I? But in all the time that we've been here, we have not seen, since we drove off that ship, that boat, we have not seen one English person, which isn't a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, hold on 1 second. But we've not seen any English people at all to talk to. We've spoken to Swedish people and some Norwegians. They're very friendly. If I came to Sweden again, I'd make the effort to learn more. I'm quite good at Spanish and French. I don't know Swedish. I know, we know a couple of words. And I don't like to sort of not be able to converse with people because I feel a bit rude in their country. But the Swedish, their English, and the Norwegians, it's fantastic.
Phenomenal.
But we literally have not seen any English people anywhere. Not anywhere. It's been bizarre, hasn't it? I thought there were going to be more. So
we passed one car today when we were driving. So it was like 3.5-4 hours today.
We passed one car today.
One UK car, and that's in the whole time that we've been here.
It's been bizarre. So yeah, I sort of miss. But Twitter, that's why Twitter's good, because everyone still has a chat. So
whilst you're going through that, obviously we're covering bits on Sweden, Dusseldorf. So next we are dropping back down. Well, we're going back down to Denmark and then across over to Germany and obviously to Dusseldorf to the Caravan Salon show. So we're going to go there. We're there for 5 days.
6 days at Dusseldorf.
5 days and then a move in afterwards.
I think
anyway,
we're at the show for, I don't
we're
know,
there for just
6
under
days,
a
I
week.
think.
So we're going to go and have a look at some of the stuff that they have on offer over there. So that will be interesting. And again, permitting, we might even try and get a live done as we're there and see how that goes, because we're going to go and camp over there. So we're stopping there, obviously, on site, and then we'll go and have a wander around that. So it'd be good to take you with us so you can have a look and see what it is, because it will be our first time there as well. So we'd love to see you there for that.
And then we head back to the Netherlands, where we then worm fudge and get on the boat back. We land back and we're flying, not flying, I use that all the time, we're flying home. We're not flying home, we're flying home. So we're flying back up to Yorkshire.
Driving.
Driving. We've got a few things to sort out at home. Obviously we've been away, but my father's got a grip of it all. So
in safe hands.
Yeah, so we're going to fly home, and then we've got a car review coming up, which will be exciting.
We've got two.
We've got two coming up, but we've got one. Your birthday, actually, we picked that
in
car
September.
up. Yeah. So, and it's one that's been quite well. They're both been quite
sought after
ones. So we've got those coming up, which we're looking forward to, and we're also obviously going to the NEC. And I know we don't do much there. We keep it quiet and we're pretty low key. But yeah, we're going to the Motorhome and Caravan show in October. And we've just had a message today, an email, and we're going to, well, first of all, you may know if you follow us on Twitter that we've been asked to go on the Freedom to Go Theatre again. So on the Sunday, the last day of the show, we're going to be talking in the theatre. I don't know what about, but I'll just blag it as I go as usual. And also, those that don't know, Carla and Steve have also been asked to talk as well. I don't think they were overly excited about it, but I said they really should do it, so they have. I think that's bullying, but I'm really looking forward to seeing their no pressure. Really looking forward to seeing your little input, guys. So we have, as I say, we've been contacted, and we're going to have 5 pairs of tickets to give away. So 5 pairs of tickets. We're going to do a live towards the end of September, and we'll have a little competition. It won't be difficult, and we'll give away.
Yeah, we've been discussing it tonight, because last time when we did this, we almost ran it too close. And we're aware that people may want to go and book in advance and get their tickets and everything else. The good thing about doing it, hopefully, maybe even do it sort of on a live, a bit like what Bob Earnshaw did, and then give the winners out there and then on the day, because then you don't have to get your tickets. You can just literally go to the press office, give your name, and that will give you free entry. So we've got 5 pairs of tickets, and we'll give some more information if you're interested a bit later on once we've sorted it out.
And there seems to be quite a few people that are going to the NEC. Obviously, Eileen's going to be there with her stand, her pet stand, so we will see you there, Eileen. Mark Hill's going for 5 days, so we'll definitely see you, Mark. Do drop in on us. Anne Shirley's going. Mike Klim wants to know if we're worming children.
I will be wormed, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that, Mike. That means that I'm looking trim and, dapper.
Like you got worms.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Jules' birthday is the 12th of September. My birthday is the 3rd of November. Now, last year, I was 40 last year, 3rd of November, and I was really hoping to have like a big birthday meetup. And I had planned something and endorsed it, but unfortunately my mum was extremely ill and we were sat in a hospice, so we didn't really do anything. So this year, I'm not having a big birthday bash or anything, but I am going to be at Longleat with Gail Cooper, and hopefully Anne and Gary will go as well. And if anyone else wishes to join me for my birthday at Longleat, they have fireworks and they're free. You can stand on the site and watch them.
They're actually already pre-booked. It's not because Karina's
birthday. No, it's for my birthday. They're doing it just for my birthday.
Fair enough.
You've ruined that for me, Jules. But yeah, so if anyone wants to join me for my birthday, that's where I'll be. I mean, I like cake. If anyone makes good cake. So yeah, and then I don't know. That'll be it. So that's where we're up to, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So I want to ask, whilst you're in the comments and things like that, the car reviews that we've done, have you found them helpful, useful? There's been a lot of people that have watched them that I think haven't been subscribers or aren't here today. But we're just trying to give an insight and an overview as to different vehicles that might be a consideration. You know, have you found them any good?
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you'd like us to put in for when we're considering doing these other ones?
It's been hard as well with the cars, because I mean we're very grateful that car manufacturers have loaned us these press vehicles to do it, because I can't believe it, to be totally honest, but they have. And one reason they have is because they've seen the positive interaction that we get from yourselves, and that you are genuinely interested in buying a tow vehicle for caravans. But a lot of them will only go down the lines of commercial vehicles for some reason.
Just quickly, I just want to say on that before I forget, it's down to you guys and girls that we're able to do these. I won't say had a little bit of a battle. That's wrong, but we've had to prove, because basically what these manufacturers look at, and I'm not going to name names, but they look at the figures and the statistics that people are watching and interacting and seeing, and it's down to you all commenting and subscribing and being part of the channel. They've actually come back and said you're a little bit small, however we've seen how much time you've put into it, and also that other people have seen it and opened it up to other people as a viable alternative, that it's given us the opportunity to be able to do it. So that is a massive thank you from us to you for commenting, talking about it, saying what you do and don't like about the little bits that we've covered for the cars. It's been brilliant for us, because it's really helped us, so thank you genuinely for that.
We were a bit disappointed when we got that Isuzu, and I looked at the tow ball and just went, that's not an Alco tow ball. And that was it, wasn't it?
Well, to be fair,
they didn't even know what an Alco tow ball was at Isuzu, which was a shame.
Well, it's one of those, because a lot of the manufacturers, they won't do it specifically for caravans. They'll do it to tow a trailer and to show its capability on their press fleet. So we just get whatever they've already got as part of the stock. So it was a bit of a shame. And to be fair to Isuzu, they did try and sort something out, and they are in contact with us to try and sort of do a bit more at a later date to see actually how it tows. They just didn't have the tow ball in stock, because we were at Somerswood at the time, and it was West Bromwich, I believe, where the garages were. So we were trying to get it over there so we could do that for you, but the time wise and with us coming away, it just didn't fall right. So we did try it, and they did as well.
So just to move on, David Stocker's asking how it's been taking fudge. He's just joined a bit late. It's been no problem at all. Pet passport, we got that easily. We crossed on the boat, no problem. They didn't even check to see if we've got a dog on board, to be fair. It was only because we've handed our passport over. And travelling around abroad's been absolutely fine. The only thing is, obviously, if it's hot, like we've had some hot days, it limits what you can do if you've got your pet with you, because obviously you can't leave them in cars. But otherwise, Fudge has I think he's had a better time than we have, because he's not had to pay for anything. Fudge is made up. So he's had a great time. Hi, Park Nest, you all right? And I just want to say hi to my friend Anne and Mark. They have a motorhome, and sadly, when they went to Cornwall, they had a bit of an incident. They had their canopy out, or their canopy out on their motorhome, and due to some manufacturing error, it fell off the side of their motorhome because it wasn't attached properly, and it hit Anne, and she cut all her arm, and it tore a massive hole in the motorhome. It's been in for repair now for, I don't know when it went in, Anne, but a while. She's getting it back on Sunday, so fingers crossed it's perfect for you, because I know she was a little bit gutted. So I hope it's all perfect, and we will see you soon as well. Hopefully when we shoot back up home in, is it 4 weeks? And whenever it is, hopefully we'll see you then.
Hello, Roger. Venomator.
Oh, hi, Roger. Glad you're getting on well with your coachman. Got an interesting question here from Ian about electric cars. At the moment, the only real electric tow cars are Tesla, which is way out of most people's budget. In America, they're bringing out a big truck and an SUV called the Rivian. And the price of that, to be fair, I don't know how much, they're looking at 2021 for it coming here. and I don't know the price on that, but that will tow 3.5 tons, and that's going to be a rapid piece of equipment. Other than that, we had linked in with a company in Yorkshire, a large vehicle retailer, and we asked if we could do something with them about electric cars. They've not been very forthcoming, and I think that's because a lot of them know that unless you're going to get a proper hybrid like an XC90 or a Range Rover Sport,
or the Outlander Fairville,
yeah, a proper dual fuel, you're not going to be towing very far, and that's sort of the reality. And then it's also obviously the implications here in Sweden. Well, all of Europe, we have seen thousands of Teslas.
Yeah,
there's more Teslas than there are motorhomes.
Not towing.
Not towing. Just generally, because they get a grant here. So electric cars, I don't know. I don't think the manufacturers really know at the moment.
We are keeping a very close eye on it, because I've also been seeing some bits from Ford come out, because their F-150 equivalent electric version. It's just it can pull immense loads, but not for very long. So I think that they're all trying to sort it out. But bear with us. As soon as we can link in and drop on with something there, we'll definitely be bringing that, because we've put quite a lot of time into the electric. Pure electric, not the hybrid, the pure electric.
Because also in Europe, I mean, not Sweden has green zones, but cars are allowed into the green zones and HGVs aren't. A lot of parts of Europe do have the environmental zones where you have to buy, I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. It's I'll say it's like a pass, and you put it in the bottom emissions card, and you put it in your windscreen, and then they know what emissions your car kicks out. And there'll come a point when obviously certain cars aren't going to certain places, but yeah, once we know, we'll keep you updated if we get anything of interest.
Whilst we're there, Cassandra, I'm definitely looking into getting a Sonic 710 SC. Fantastic.
Lovely.
Yeah, well, we would love to link in with Adria and do something a bit more in depth with their motorhomes or their A classes. Whatever.
That Sonic is
So we'll see what we can sort out, and if not, we'll definitely try and have a wander around at the show for you.
Yeah, we're wanting to look at one either at the NEC or at Dusseldorf if we get to see one there, which I'm sure we will. But yeah, that is my favourite. The Adria Sonic is like my dream A class. That's why I'm laughing, because I just thought, absolutely lovely. Where did Fudge go? On the ferry? On the ferry, on this one to Holland that we came on, there's either the kennels, which literally you can walk your dog to the kennel, it goes in the kennel and that is it, or they can stay in the car. We left Fudge in the car, to be totally fair, because he's happy in his little bed, he knows where he is, he knows what's going on. So you've got the choice. I know if you go, obviously if you go on the tunnel, it's really quick and you through. If you go to Spain, they have cabins where you can take your dogs, and they also have the kennels as well. So there's a bit more choice there, but that's a longer sailing.
It's an interesting one from Stephen about the speed limits over here. Coming over to visit Denmark, 50 mile an hour on the motorway.
Generally 50 miles an hour, generally, unless you're from Germany, and then it's like however fast you can go. Is that not right, Jules? That's
a sweeping generalisation
of the German people I've seen.
We have seen quite a few, but you can't.
In Germany, they also have, depending on the weight of your car and your caravan, if you're under 3.5 tons, you can do a different speed to if you're over. However, what we noticed is every combination had the 100-kilometre sticker just slapped on it, and I was like, that's way over 3.5 tons. So I was like, they obviously don't check. They just put a sticker on and go at 100 kilometres. But yeah, Denmark, same with Sweden. You're looking at 50 miles an hour, which I think that's probably why a lot of the combinations are probably a little bit dodgy by our standards, because they're not going above 50 miles an hour. And the 85% sort of recommendation, it's definitely like 185%, I think, on some of them. We've seen some cracking combinations. But on saying that, we've not seen one crash with a caravan on these roads. We haven't seen one crash full stop, touch wood. So I suppose that says a lot.
Something else that we're also keeping an eye on as well, we've seen it mentioned in a few forums about the Euro 6 and the electricity sort of power supplies to fridges and things. Obviously, if you don't know, because of the power delivery of it, they're now doing it so that they don't actually draw power from your 13 pin through to the fridge on some of the newer vehicles. So I think they're looking at that as well. I know that Becky, Mum on a Mission, she was mentioning it in something, and I saw
Caravan Chronicles, I think.
and I saw Nigel,
it.
I think Nigel Hudson as well mentioned something about the Euro 6. So that's something else to be aware
And
of.
crippling a caravan, your messages always make me chuckle. But apparently you'll be dead by the time you get electric, and you'll leave us your 12 volt toaster. I'll be most excited about that. That's wonderful. Thank you. I always chuckle at your comments. That's what I like, a laugh.
Absolutely. So we are nearly 42 minutes in.
Oh God.
Quickly
We've had a long
moving on.
day, because joking aside, we got up early, because I get up early every day.
Karina keeps talking, so we're going to cut off there, and we're going to go to
We had a 4-hour tow to here, and we're an hour ahead of you as well.
what we're doing next when we get back. So we've covered, to be fair, we've covered quite a lot.
Yeah, I
of
think
that.
we've covered that.
I'm returning home, we're going back home.
Yeah.
The car reviews and the NEC, so the freedom to go and the tickets. So that's us done then.
And then Venomate, do you have a speed sticker over there then? Oh, some of the countries do, some of the countries don't. They don't seem to in Sweden, Denmark. It's been more the German vans. The full stipulation on that, I don't know whether it's actually the vehicles that are registered in that country that have to have them. I know when we've read up on the regulations, we didn't. There's certain things that you do need, which I think most of us know about, but the speed stickers, I would say if you're going abroad, you need to check on the country you're going to. It's like the tolls and all that sort of stuff. Check up on where you're going and what the regulations specify. I know we've not needed the stickers.
No, but we're also having to look into, because there have been some almost ANPR type cameras with tolls over today when we came through Gothenburg.
See you later, Mark.
So there's Gothenburg and there is, I think, Malmo, two places where they've got
And
Stockholm where they've got bridges, and it's basically to pay for the infrastructure of the bridge. It says that they're going to they basically send you the bill through the post, but we're going to see if we can register online and sort that out before we go back to try and negate that, having to go all the way home for a 90p charge.
So what have you done for Euro breakdown cover? What I would advise is, if you're coming away to Europe, one, you make sure your car is insured for, if it's a car, not a motorhome, your car is insured for driving in Europe. Your
the
caravan,
length of time that it's covered for whilst you're out.
Yeah, your caravan is insured, and then if you're going to get the breakdown cover, again, that can be a mix of your car's covered and your van isn't, and vice versa. There's various ones. The Caravan and Motorhome Club offer a very good service, because again, you've got to check the length of your van, because our van's over 8 metres. And then there's obviously the usual recovery that operate over here with their partners. I wouldn't just recommend one, having never used them, but I would say I know the clubs do get good reviews from people that have had to use them. It's like travel insurance and your E11 card and stuff like that. Make sure you've got them, basically. I mean, hopefully, touch wood, nothing has happened as yet, and hopefully it won't, and we'll get back safe, but it's not always a risk you want to take when you're stranded on one of these roads. So no, good
Absolutely.
Question.
So I think we're up to today.
I think we're up to speed. So that's basically where we're at, and that's basically what we're doing. So thank you for, I think, joining us. I don't think we've got much else to add, apart from having a really good time. And if you're thinking of doing it next year, do it. You can always come in winter. Would I come in winter? I'd imagine, we're talking about this today as we drove along, I'd imagine it'd be amazing, beautiful. But the cold, I'm not very good in the cold. The Caravan would be fine, because Avdrias are built for it. But I'm not very good in the cold, so I'd have to put some serious thought into that. I'd be more inclined to head towards Spain for winter to keep warm. But this is really our first trip, touch wood, so far has been a major success, and we have loved it. So we're definitely hoping to plan something for next year.
And the good thing is, as well, is because we've booked ahead of time, what we find out here is quite a lot of people just seem to turn up bit ad hoc and book onto sites. It isn't really as regimented as it is in the UK with booking your stay. People are actually quite surprised when I walk in and we've booked and paid prior and have a booking reference number. It's almost like they're expecting you to just drive in off the roadside, ask for a pitch for the night, and that seems to be how they sort of operate out here. But I mean, it's worked really well. I mean, we've done it through First Camp, so we've done it through them. Just because
and that's
it is
worked well for us. We've learnt a lot
familiar.
from this trip. Yeah, because I wanted to make sure that we've got. I think with a caravan, certainly with a motorhome, I'd be a bit more inclined just to head off on the road and hope for the best. Because if you arrive at a site and it is full, you can just find somewhere to pull in quite easily. And there's apps that I found as well that are quite helpful for that. When you're nearly, 13 metres long or something? Over 13 and a half metres long. To then say we're full and find somewhere to stop for a night in a caravan's a lot more tricky. So I'm glad we've booked ahead. But with a motorhome, I'd be a bit more inclined just to set off and see where it took us.
Mr. Scammell, you and me, absolutely.
Yeah. You could go away with Jules in winter.
Yeah, I really am wanting to do more camping and campervanning. So in the winter, in the rain, bit of snow on the tent, I'm not bothered. I've camped all over the place. I love it. So I'm quite happy to do some reviews like that.
There's a lot of interest in Spain. Did you have to book 1 month in advance for dinner, friends?
You have to.
So yeah, Spain is somewhere I'd be quite interested in going over winter. I mean, don't get me wrong, Spain doesn't get amazing weather all the time, but it gets generally better weather than the Yorkshire Dales. So yeah, that's something we're interested in possibly doing. But at the moment, we've got a couple of things ongoing at home. So whether we'll be able to get away after Christmas, I don't know. Because otherwise, it would have been nice to set off after New Year. Because we've got Christmas and New Year booked, and we're really looking forward to that. And it would have been nice to then head off down to Spain. But again, I think we won't be booking anything yet. We'll have to see how things develop.
Jill, we do follow the Gypsy Souls.
Oh, yeah.
We were actually considering joining them on their...
Yeah, they're setting off a bit earlier this year.
They're going a little bit earlier.
Yeah, November.
We've already got things planned, but that was something that we were looking at. Yvonne says your nails are holding up well.
I tell you what, they are. It's not bad. Yeah, I'm quite excited about the whole thing. The lady told me I needed gel, and instead of blue nail varnish, I needed gel, which is obviously like 20 quid more or whatever. And I was from Yorkshire, not Essex, so I was like, no, just put the normal polish on. And amazingly, it's not worn off whatsoever. So, just goes to show. But yeah, save myself some money.
So no, I was chatting to somebody on Instagram yesterday, and the funny thing was the analogy that I used, he really liked, because he said that he would love to come out this way. They're going down to Devon and Cornwall. I'm not going to name who, because I don't know if they're happy for me to. But they were saying about going to Devon and Cornwall, but they'd love to come over here. And I just says, well, the thing is, it's like you're a snail, because you're coming away, you've got your home with you, so no matter where you are here, you've got all your home comforts, you know exactly where all your clothes are, all your bits are, everything's set up how you want it, because it's the van that you've got or the motorhome that you've got, and you just go and do it.
It's been
you only
easier.
Live once, and that is our is our absolute sort of...
Yeah, we do need to go home at some point, but our whole thing is like just hit the road and go and enjoy it. And not everyone can do it. It depends what stage of your life you're at, and that's the stage we're at the moment. And we'll see how things sort of progress, really. Do we watch other vlogs, Diane Gregory says? We do. We like to watch...
all of them.
Yeah.
Andrew Ditton, Happy Travellers, Gypsy Souls, Caravan and Motorhome Gossip, you name
projects, Bus and Beyond. Yeah. What else do we watch? Caravan Chit Chat, Cars
Caravan
and Caravans, Park Nest, Caravan
Lost Weekends.
Lost Weekend. Yeah. We're a bit sad, really. Well, while we've been away, we've not had the telly because, well, we had one channel, didn't we? And then the rest of it, we don't understand it, so there's no point watching it.
We love watching them.
So we've been watching YouTube as always.
It's the whole community bringing everything together. That's what's really exciting. So, I absolutely love it. But no, we watch them all, and we've just got to be a little bit careful, like tonight, with how much 3G we use and bandwidth, because obviously
and
we're out here from it.
John's got his chocolate buttons.
His giant chocolate buttons. Fantastic.
I'm at the no money stage. Yeah. Well,
Tell me about it.
we are here in Sweden. We're going to set up a Just Giving page, I think, to help us get through the next 2 weeks till we get back to Denmark. Yeah, and phones, mobile phones. I'm on Vodafone and you're on Three. And my Vodafone's been fantastic.
Really, really good out
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Can't fault it, really.
Because I've got unlimited, which I think there's a fair use policy out here, but the coverage isn't as good as Karina's on Vodafone.
Yeah.
So
if you do travel abroad, Vodafone's fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. We've hotspotted off it and all sorts. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Caravan newbies. Yeah, of course we like your channel as well. You're getting there, guys. I bet you've probably realised it's a bit harder than it looks sometimes, trying to get all those vlogs together, but keep at it, because it is good fun. And people do like to watch things and think, oh yeah, I think at some of our stuff it's like, crikey, yeah, won't do that. But yeah, so I think we're about there. I think we're about ready for bed. I've got half my pyjamas on. Just need to put my top on and go and get in my
like
kit.
a proper newsreader here.
And in other news, so yeah, we are here for 5 days. It's actually due to rain, which we've not had rain. We've had, say, 1 hour of rain since we've been here. It's due to hammer it down tomorrow, I think. So we're going to go and find some
of the weather that's been in the UK. We've heard that's been hit quite badly. So
yeah,
it's not all good over there. So
no, be careful if you're out and about. And if people, I've seen a lot of stuff on the Facebook groups. Facebook, oh crikey! I've seen a lot on the Facebook groups, and people talking about awnings. If you're in any doubt, if you can, before the storm hits, do whip it down. And it's like people saying, what speed should I tow at? The speed the wind speed you're happy with is my best advice. I mean, I've towed a lot, and I'd say it's quite frightening if you get it wrong. So if you look out and you're not happy with it, doesn't matter what anyone else is doing, don't do it if it's not right for you, is my advice. Because other people, you don't know what towing experience they've got, the weight of their car, the weight of their caravan, how far they're going. So don't judge it by what anyone else is doing. Just do what you feel happy with.
So we're getting dark now in Sweden. So we want to say thank you very much for joining in. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was everything that you expected. If you've got anything else that you want to ask or clarify, then obviously we'll still be looking at the comments after this, so you can rewatch it and Adam, and we will answer your questions as best we can. So from that, we'll say good night. Thank you very much for joining us. Yeah. Anything else?
Oh, I forgot about Bob Earnshaw's channel. We've watched you as well, Bob. There's too many to remember.
I know.
In fact, if everyone else on their Who vlogs puts theirs on,
yeah,
it'll jog my memory.
Absolutely.
But yeah. Right, that's great.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you soon.